Hello everyone, that red comet here, but you can call me Yuta if you want to. And today I wanted to make a quick video. I wanted to make a guide on fuzzy guarding. And now, fuzzy guarding is quite an advanced concept, but basically what it is, it's a defensive strategy that will allow you to deal with certain types of mix-ups. So, to give an example, we have Lee here, and the reason why I picked Lee is because you might be familiar with this string, right? Is while standing 2-3, right? And this move is used as mix-up with his slide, right? He threatens with slide, or he can decide to go with the mid. And this is a launcher, but of course it's minus 13 on block, so this is punishable. So what Lee can do is he can try to use is while standing 2-4, which is a mid-high, and the high is completely safe on block. So you don't know if he's gonna try to use the mid-mid or the mid-high, and this is designed to be a mix-up, right? You should technically guess, and you know you should gamble here, but we can apply a fuzzy guard here to kind of deal with this mix-up situation. Now, you need to get accustomed with this whole thing. It's not something that you can do naturally. You just need to grind this in practice mode. But basically, what we can do here, I'm gonna set Lee to do both of these options. And as you can notice here, the second hit of his while standing 2-3 is 20 frames. You can see it from the frame display. While his mid-high is 27 frames. So one option is slower than the other. So we can try to use that difference in terms of speed to kind of option select. So basically what we're gonna do here is we're gonna stand block, and then after a certain amount of frames, we're gonna crouch to avoid the high. And I'll show you that this is possible to do. As you can see. Again, let's see if it does the mid. It does the mid, I can sleep. This is a bit technical to do, and again, I never really trained to do this against Lee. But very good players, they will be able to do this constantly. There you go. There you go. There you go. Nope. There you go. As you can see, it kind of works. You need to get accustomed to this, and of course, it's very difficult to be on point with the timing every time. Like, if that's the case, you are probably JDCR or knee, right? This is very difficult, and you need to get accustomed to this, and you need to practice a lot. But it is a legitimate strategy that you want to keep in mind. And now, I want to switch character. I want to switch to Jin, because there is another very important situation with Jin, where you can fuzzy guard, and it involves his down 2. And you know that after down 2, Jin players, they really love to use his low sweep, right? They really love to use either this move, or they do like a while standing mid. They can do a while standing 2, or they can do a while standing 1. So what you can do here, now I'm gonna record Jin doing down 2 into low, down 2 into mid string. And we can apply the same concept here, and we stand block, and then after a couple of frames, a certain amount of frames, we crouch guard, as you can see. You see? So as you can see, it works really well, and personally the way I like to do this with Jin specifically, to time this correctly, I like to do, you can see it from the command history, I like to do a backdash into a low guard, and generally this gives me the right timing to block the mid and duck the low, as you can see. Because the low is so fast, usually by the time you end your backdash, you will be able to block the mid. So this is how this is how I keep the timing with this. But of course, it's gonna be different depending on the character. And of course, this works because the low is slower than the mid, or in the case of Lee, the high was slower than the mid. But it can be the opposite. Maybe the mid is slower and the low is faster. And we're gonna take a look at another example, which is Nina. If you remember this particular string from Tekken 7, it was the bane of my existence with Nina. And it's this string here, 444. This was much stronger in Tekken 7. The low used to knock down on regular hit. And then she has the mid option, which also knocks on regular hit. And as you can see in this case, the low is faster and the low is the low is faster and the mid is slower. So it can get a little bit complicated. But the mid is slower, as you can see. It takes a long time to come out. But this is doable even in situations like this. You start with a crouch guard and then you stand up. Personally, as you can see, I find it much more difficult to deal with this type of mix-ups where the mid is slower. I don't know why, but I just get clipped every time I let go of down. I get clipped. It almost like it takes a little bit more to go from crouch to standing, and you are vulnerable. It shouldn't be like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but to me personally it feels like that. It generally feels more difficult to deal with these types of mix-ups, where the low or the high is faster and the mid is slower, but it could be me. Probably it's me. But this is doable, although, as you can see, I'm failing it every time. And it's because of this, it's because the mid is slower. I can't get it down, but yeah, it's pretty much... You see? 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 I'm trying to do it, but it's very difficult. For some reason. There you go, it's something like this. But there are many characters with strings like this that you can fuzzy guard. We could talk about Steve, for example. Let's quickly show this and then we're gonna end the video. Let's switch to Steve. This is a bit more complicated, like I said, because Steve has ways to counter a fuzzy guard in this situation, but just to give you an idea, some of you probably already know about this Lionheart stance. He does up back 2. This is a +5 on block high. And then he follows up with either a mid, which is a heat engager safe on block, or he goes with a high, which is a guard break. Bam! And you get the guaranteed 2-2. So here, because the mid is faster than the high, we could technically try to apply a fuzzy guard here. As you can see, it kinda works. As you can see. It kinda works. The problem is that Steve, a good Steve player, can decide when to pull the trigger on the mix-up. So he can wait a little bit. So what he can do is not fire immediately with the mid, but he can just wait a little bit and then go with the safe on block mid heat engager. So in this case, a fuzzy guard, unfortunately, if the Steve is smart and he knows what he's doing, he's gonna try to wait a little bit to mess up with your timing. And he also has another option, which is this mid here, which is a bit slower. And it's also very difficult to fuzzy guard. So you have to be careful. If the opponent can delay the attack, he doesn't have to commit to the attack immediately. If the player is smart, he can wait a little bit to throw you off with the timing. And so that's something that you need to keep in mind. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and take care.